Hello there! Welcome to the channel, everybody. Welcome back if you've been here before, welcome if you're new, and welcome all to Starlight Drive-In, where we've got a little bonus episode of our Build with Beans series for FOB Twinkle. Now we're here at the gatehouse, and as you can see, it's had a little bit of a facelift. A few different bits added to it, and that is because in today's episode we're going to be going through all of the suggestions from the commenters in the 3 different builds. For any of the spaces where I wasn't sure what to do with them at the time of building, I kept asking for suggestions. You lovely people gave me some great suggestions and I've implemented a few of them, so yeah, here we are, here we go. Now just before we get into it, this episode will be sort of part tour, part build. There'll be some elements that I build that are a bit sort of out of the usual or are a bit more difficult than other bits, whereas some bits that I build, I'll just build off screen if it was nice, simple, easy building, or if it's something I've gone over how to build in the past. But anyway, that's enough of me chatting about that. Let's go have a look around at some of these suggestions and some of the builds we've got, and once again, thank you to everybody for all of the suggestions, for all of the great builds, great suggestions. I love getting them in the comments, and I hope you all like what I did with your ideas here. Alright, so I'm kind of going to go through the builds like chronologically and just do a lot of the suggestions people gave me. And the first thing I'm going to do is just switch this up. Tango and Cap suggested that I could close this off with the weapon boards, and I thought, oh yeah, that's a pretty good idea, eh? So I'm just in the weapons bit. I'm going to go over here, get these long boards, and these will affix up here, which means we can snap them down. Just need to get it straight. Let's give that a try with the long one. See if we can get the short ones either side. There we go. I think that does look a lot better. And I don't think we necessarily need the top one. Be careful not to get the roof. Oh dear. That's okay, we can just pop them back. There we go. And you know what? I think we can even go ahead and pop the flag back on, and it just closes it up a little bit nicer. No Tango suggested using the weapon racks for, you know, their intended use there. But I think what I would like to do, once we've got this flag on the wall, is just pop one of these long weapon racks on here, because they snap really well to the front of those, and I'm going to pop a long gun on there for the trooper on each one. So now I'm just going to do that on the other side. So with my alterations done up there, the next thing I'm going to move on to is these little areas underneath. Now I've got loads of great suggestions for these, and one common theme was like a rest refit area for the troops. So I'm going to do that under there. But under the other one, I've got a little motor pool area for our little defence drones. So we've got little men out front, and I've gone and built this one. And the way I've done this is I've put a little scavenging station inside of this cabinet to sort of rest the defence drone on. So when someone is assigned to it, they'll start welding on that. It'll look like they're fixing it up. But I built this, put it on the footlockers so it looked like it was on chocks, and then just pillar glitched it in here. And if we turn it on, you'll see it sort of animated and all that. But as this one uses TVs for the wheels, what I'm going to do is pop some TVs here and get some little stairs coming out. And while I'm here, I'm just going to pop a railing on this side, because what I've done is I've removed this doorway on this side just so we've got more space, leave it a little bit more open. But I'm just going to go over to the concrete and pop one of them railings in here. And then I'm going to go back over to the wood section, go to the floors, get one of these, get it on there, and then I'm just going to get some stairs coming down. I think I'm going to get some of the scaffolding stairs if they'll fit. Want some of the skinny ones? Yeah, these ones. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I will actually also pop a railing in on here. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. So what I'm going to do is get some TVs in against this wall. Now to get this wall in, I did have to pillar glitch it in there. but I don't have to pillar glitch anymore because now the walls will snap. And I'm going to go with the larger wall on this side, just because it's got that vantage point looking down into the FOB. So I'm just going to take this TV, sink it in so it looks like a full wheel, and nestle it against the wall, and then do the same thing again. Alright then, so with our spare wheels there ready to be fitted on whenever we get the chance, I have built this little toolbox, this little tool station. I've just done that with a simple shiller drop and then a simple pillar glitch, and I'm just going to pillar glitch it, well shiller glitch it, into the space over there. I don't want to block off that little bit, access to it, but what we'll do is we'll just pop it. I think in here is going to look pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Cool. Alright, so I'm happy with my little motor pool area for now. I might come back to give it some more later on down the road, but for now that is looking good, exactly how I want it to be. Now, obviously I'm going to move on to this one next, but I want to even out this door with this one. So what I'm going to do is shut that and then basically get these two to match. So to start with, I'm just going to get rid of this wall and pop it over here, pop those stairs over there, and then we're just going to go over to the structures, into the barn, get out one of the long barn sticks, and we'll shut that door, thank you very much. If you would please vacate the building zone. I'm just going to shiller glitch it in there rather than faffing around with the item itself. No need to faff and be lazy when my shiller's right there. And I'm just going to get that up to the top of the door, same as the other one. Double check where it's coming in. So it wants to be flush to it. Doesn't really matter if they're not uneven, just nags at me sometimes. I like things to be like symmetrical, but also kind of janky looking. It's confusing, being me. There we go. So now, my doors are looking good, matching each other. Yeah, that's a lot better. Now I do want to keep one of these big sets of stairs for the other guard side. I'm going to have it on the outside, but on the inside, if that makes sense. And we'll pop down a little fence here. Yeah, it'll do. Okay, so the last little bit I've got to do on this gatehouse that I asked for some suggestions on is this area. Now, I got loads of great suggestions. Thanks everybody who suggested different things for this. Most recurring things I saw was sort of a like a rest area for the troops or a bit of a armory. Now, I did get a few suggestions for like a weapons workbench and that, but I am planning on turning the project house into an armory, replete with weapons and armour workshops. So I'm going to hold off on that, but I like the idea of combining that rest refit area for the troops with like a little bit of an armory thing. So what I'm going to do is just decorate it off screen, pop some bits in there, and then I'll show you it after. And here we are, all decorated up with a few bits inside. So let's go and have a look. So, like I said, I wanted it to be sort of a rest refit area, sort of part rest area, part armory. So first off, just over here, the little rest area, I've got some lights in here. I've got this painting that I've turned backwards. I'm going to use it as like a chalkboard, a little thing for them to write notes to each other on. Not knackered out sofa to sit on. Nothing nice, but it's not the nicest place. I've also built this hanging shelf. So the way I've done that is I've pillar glitched 2 different shelves together, back to back, popped a couple of conduits in to the top as well, and then I've just shiller dropped a lamp and some potted plants on here. And then on this side I've got a big gun for them to come and grab if things get hairy up there. Nice little poster. Got this weapons rack that says, get you some of this, as our friend Commander Pete would say. And then yeah, just a little bit of weapons ammo storage under here. Now the way I've got most of this stuff in is just by using the Great Grandpa Gamer's rug glitch. So I've popped most of this stuff on here and just popped it in there. Obviously pillar glitched all of this stuff together and just shiller glitched it in there, and likewise the rest of it was just pillar glitched, like the painting and the lights together. But yeah, there's our rest and refit area. I'd just like to give a huge shout out to Tango and Caps, Fireball Dahlia, Chris Murphy, K Hungers68 and Wilma D for the suggestions on a rest refit area for this little space under here. So yeah, thanks very much for the suggestions, guys. If you're watching, let me know how you like it and if it looks good to you, and let me know what else you would have done differently. And let's move on to the next part. Alright, so in the second episode I also asked for some help with what goes in this clinic area, and shout out to Lancelot. He said like maybe, you know, a chair with some magazine rack and a water fountain, which I thought was a good idea because he also said, you know, there's not much you can do with it, and he's wasn't wrong. I did get some great suggestions. Shout out Snapper's idea for some sort of like cycle medical testing machine, which I'll probably do. Also shout out Cat's Boots, who said like put some sort of veterinary area here. I might come back to do that one, just because I don't know how far I'm going to go with the wall yet. That's sort of a idea I'm playing with for the next episode, but that's for then. And this is for now. So in the comments for episode 3, I got some really fun suggestions for things to do with the bathrooms, and when I was doing them, it sort of led me to theming the different bathrooms. So the first one is this one. This is where the visitors go. Got some graffiti on the wall here, courtesy of Cat's Boots. Great idea. We're gonna radio Preston at the castle for a good time, and also Strong was here. Now, funnily enough, Strong is with Preston at the castle, and Preston's been teaching him his letters, so he's either doing a good job or a bad job. I'll let you be the judge of that. The second one, Snickerdoodle suggested using some of the mushroom lamps, and also suggested putting some chems in there, so I thought this is the bathroom where you're going to huff some chems. Got some funky stuff up around. And then my friend Link suggested some incense, and I thought, well, there's no incense, but what I can do is put some candles in there, and I'll put some flowers in here when I junk decorate. So I've made this like the scented candle one. It's all relaxing, got some nice pictures. And then this one, this is your sort of morning thing, sit there and read the newspaper one. Them's the toilets. Great suggestions from the comments, thank you very much. And so the last area from episode 3 that I asked for some help with was this little space between the shower cubicle and the guard tower. Now what I'm going to do is merge 2 ideas I got. So Justin Evans and Alistair Atwell both said sort of use some scaffolding to elevate some water, some vault crates, so I can make like a water tank feed in the shower, which I thought was a pretty cool idea. But also Snickerdoodle said it'd be good to have like a changing room there as well. So yeah, I'm going to go with both. Now I've done a little dry run of this, so over here we've got conduit contraption I've made just to wire up into our vault crates, and also you can't see it until I pop it out the ground, but I've got a tiny shiller and it's so cute. Look at it, isn't it? It's so tiny and cute. But anyway, I'm going to shiller glitch, sorry, I'm a bit of a strange person. I'm going to shiller glitch this in here and try and get it as straight as I can. Move that out of the way, see how it looks. Perfect, I'm happy with that. And it's sticking out at a good angle, good height. Excellent. Now to do the roof where the water crates are resting on, I did do a dry run and I tried using the scaffolding as you can see on screen, but it just wasn't working, either on its own or when I was trying to shiller it in there. So instead, I've used the wood floorings. And what I'm going to do is get this concrete pillar. We're just going to get this low down. And just sort of get it in there, just wedge it in there as we can. Actually, I need to get the concrete pillar under it, elsewise it's going to go into the roof. That should do it. So as you can see, unlike the scaffolding, it's a lot more forgiving with the wood floors. Alright, nice one. That took forever, but that's where I want it to be. So now we're just going to go over to the barns and square it off with some of these barn posts. And do you know what? I'm going to twizzle that so it's got a different texture to the other one when they're on there. And then this one. Cool, even enough. And then I'm just going to get one of the warehouse doors and pop that on there.
Yeah.
Okay, brill. Very janky. I like it. And to do the water tanks on the roof with the Vault-Tec crates, I've just put these two up against each other on a rug. Like you can see, like they are really friendly on Clash. Like they don't really interfere with each other too much. And you can get them really close, practically merging them. So with them being on this rug, it's the rug that's got the Clash because they're placed on it and I'm not group selecting it. So I can just pop it into the conduit here. And there we go. Got my water tanks feeding into the shower. So with the water feature feeding into the shower, I want to get some little seating areas in the changing room. So I'm just going to start off with this table and sink it in some. So we sort of either somewhere to put your stuff or a little bench. But then I've also got this actual bench that I want to get in there. If it'll fit, if it doesn't, that's fine. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm gonna maybe stick a little lantern on that table, I think. So I'm gonna pop this lantern on the table there. I like that. I don't think it needs any other lighting, but if I want to give it any other lighting I can come back because I'm powered up with this conduit here. That's connected to our power pylon. But yeah, that'll do for there and there. So yeah, massive shout out to Justin and Alistair for the idea with the water on the roof, and yeah, huge shout out for Snickerdoodles with the idea for the changing room next to the shower. Thanks very much, guys. Alrighty then, so that's the end of all of our little tidy up projects around FOB Twinkle. I'm really pleased with how they all turned out, and I really like some of the suggestions I got, so thank you everybody so much for all these suggestions. Please do like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you want to drop us a comment and let me know what you thought of the builds and the ideas, and if you've seen one of your ideas in here, let me know what you thought about how I executed it. But yeah, that'll be that for this episode. Like I said at the beginning, next episode will probably be a beans build. I've got an idea floating about in my head that I'm really excited to try and share. But until then, I hope you all take care of yourselves, take care of each other, have a great couple weeks, and I'll see you in the next one. Ta-ra!